Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Arik. Today we're going to be ranking fatal blows, and I have three criteria for the rankings. My first one is their startup, the second is their damage, and then the third is their animation. So with that said, let's get on to the tier list. So first, I'm going to go a little out of order, but first I'm going to go with Scorpion. And I'm going to put him in B. I think he's B because his startup is average, a little slow at 21. His damage is okay at 310. And then his animation it's decent. You can combo pretty easily with it, but it's not like a unique animation that you will see that I will talk about later on. So I'm going to put him in B. His fatal blow is average, not bad, not good. So my next person is Noob Saibot. I'm going to put him at B. So Noob, he would be A if he had a quicker startup, but his startup is 28 and his damage is only 320, which is also, it's okay. His fatal blow is full screen, which is why he's not in C, but it is a little hard to combo with at sometimes because it is a low like projectile kind of thing. It's just a low attack, so sometimes it's hard to combo into it, so that's why it's B. My next person is going to be Baraka. I'm going to put Baraka actually at S. Well, his animation isn't incredible. He has a super fast startup at 13, and his damage is 310, but it's really fast, it's easy to combo, and I just think it's an S tier because the animation is exactly what you need. It's just a straight, I don't know if it's a punch, but it hits you straight on. It's really easy, quick, you can almost combo into it with everything, and wake up pretty easily. So the next person is going to be Raiden. I'm going to put Raiden B tier. So Raiden has a startup of 17. He does have 330 damage, which is the most we've seen so far. But my only problem is I think his hitbox is a little messed up. But tell me in the comments below if his hitbox for his fatal blow was fixed in the last patch. But if his hitbox is the same as it was before Aftermath, I would put him in C, but I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and put him in B just because. But please tell me in the comments if he did get fixed. Okay, so the next one is Jackie. Where's Jackie? I'm going to put her actually in C. I really don't like it because of its like terrible range. It has one of the lowest ranges in the game, and well, her startup is 13. Her damage is okay at 3. You really can't just wake up with it because usually the opponent will backdash and you won't hit anything and then you get punished super easily, so I'm going to put her in C tier. So Sub-Zero, I'm going to put in A tier. So Sub-Zero, the thing keeping him from S tier is his 25 startup, but his damage is the highest at 340, and his range is above average. Well, it's not like crazy like someone like a Frost or Aaron Black. It is easy to combo, it does a bunch of damage, and I think it's really good. It's just not S because it's a little slow at 25 frames. So the next person I'm doing is Kano. So here. Kano, I'm going to put in B tier. So Kano has a 25 frame startup. He only has 310 damage, which is on the lower end, and he's just average. I mean, he is a little slow. I could consider him C, but I'll just put him in B because, I mean, fatal blows, they all work, so I'll put him in B. His range is not bad, and he's just average. So the next person is Cabal. I'm gonna put Cabal in S tier. So Cabal, his animation, if you don't know, is he goes behind the opponent actually, so it's a really good, and it is a 21 frame startup, so it is a little slow, but I mean, he does go behind you and he avoids all projectiles, so if you're trying to poke him out, he can just fatal blow and go right behind you. And he has 330 damage, so a little above average on the higher end, and I think it's a great fatal blow, especially at the end of games when you're just trying to poke each other out. You can catch someone off guard and just use your fatal blow. So the next one I'm gonna do is Liu Kang, and I'm gonna put Liu Kang in A tier. So Liu Kang has a 16 frame startup, 320 damage, and that's basically it. His animation is pretty average. It's kind of like Baraka's. Actually, now thinking about it, maybe Baraka, I'll put him in A tier. So he's basically identical to Baraka, a tiny bit slower at 16 frames, but the damage is a little higher and the animation is pretty much the same, so I'll put him in A. The next person I'm doing is Katana. Katana, I'm gonna put in B tier. So Katana has a 21 frame startup, and that's average, a little slow, but it's not terrible. However, she has a 310 damage fatal blow, so on the lower end, and her animation is just an average straight. I think she hits you with her fans. Her range is not incredible, so she's just average as well. So now Kung Lao. Let's see. Kung Lao, I'm gonna put in A. Kung Lao, he has a super fast startup at 13, like Baraka. He has 330, so more than Baraka, and 330 damage. And his animation has multiple kicks, so that can poke people out, and it's annoying if you block and then let go of the block a little too early, he can still get you. So he has a really good fatal blow, he can combo into it. Actually, I think I'll put him in S tier. It's really good. So the next one I'm gonna do is Jade. So Jade I'm gonna put in B tier. Jade, her fatal blow is an overhead, but it starts up at 27, so it's pretty slow, and it only does 320 damage, so pretty average. And sometimes you can predict her fatal blow since it is a little bit slower, so that's what's keeping her from the A tier. So the next person I'm gonna talk about is Johnny. I think Johnny, I'll put him at B. I think it's a little slow at 28. It only does 320. So not that much damage. He's just average. His animation is average too. It's not like Cabal's. It's just a punch. And the only thing keeping him from C, I think, is his cancel to mix up. So he can cancel his fatal blow, grab you, or do something after that. So that's pretty good, but his startup is pretty predictable. So that's the thing keeping him from S or A. So Sonya, I'm gonna put at A tier. So Sonya, she has a 13 frame startup, only 310 damage, which is not that good. But since it is so quick, it's basically like Baraka's or Liu Kang's. So these really quick ones can combo really easily. You can wake up with it, catch your opponent off guard, and they're just really good fatal blows to have. So the next person I'm going to do is Cassie. I'm going to put her in B tier. Pre-patch, I would have put her in C tier because her startup is 32, so one of the slowest, if not the slowest, fatal blow. But they did patch her, buff her air fatal blow, which allows her to combo into her fatal blow much easier. It's now the same, 32 frames, which was much slower, so no one could really combo it with it. So now that it can combo pretty easily, it does kind of avoid projectiles. Since she does go up in the air, I'll put her at B tier. So Jax, definitely S tier. I think he has the fastest fatal blow at 11 frames, and he does only do 320, but since it is the quickest in the game, it has really good range, and it's pretty decent damage. I'm going to put it in S, because you can wake up with that super quick, you can combo into it almost every single time, and it's just a really good fatal blow. So for the next one, I'm going to talk about Spawn. I think Spawn is B tier. So Spawn, he has a 24 frame startup. His damage is 320, so average. And then he does have a decent range since he does throw, I think, grenades or something like that. So he has that, and he can also aim up if you predict them to jump during your fatal blow, so that's a pretty good option. So I just think it's average. Its range is decent. It's just a little slow at 24 frames. So Shang Tsung, I'm gonna put at B also. Shang Tsung has a 25 frame startup, 320 as well. And then his animation is pretty average. It's his actual fatal blow animation is one of the coolest in my opinions, but like with all the ninjas and everything, but the actual startup animation is just okay. So the next one will be Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn, I would have put him in C, but it's pretty good. I think I could see him at C since he has a 25 frame startup and 320 damage only. I would have put him in A if he had like 340 damage, but he can stay at B. It's pretty average. He just spears you, I think. So okay animation. He does miss sometimes, but I think most of the time he will hit you, so I'll put him at B. So Frost, I'm gonna put at S. So Frost, she has a 17 frame startup, which is decent. It's pretty fast. She has 330 damage on her fatal blow, but the thing keeping her at, putting her at S is her great range. I'm pretty sure it's full screen, and it's not like a single projectile, it's like a laser, so you have to hold the block for a little while, and it's super annoying because you can't jump over it. You have to block, and if she catches you, she's doing a lot of damage. So that is Frost at S. So Nightwolf, he's gonna go down in C. So Nightwolf, the thing putting him in C for me, he does have a 17 frame startup, 320 damage, which is okay, but I really don't like his animation. The hitbox on it is kind of weird because it's his spirit's like coming out of him or something like that. So he does miss sometimes, and it has just bad range in general. So that's what's putting him at C. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Shao Kahn can go in C too, because he does miss sometimes and it's pretty slow. So the next one is Robocop. I'm gonna put him at A because his animation is really good. He like lunges forward with his shield. It is a 19 frame startup, so average speed. It is 330 damage, so above average damage, and good range, good animation, and it's very easy to combo with, so A tier. Scarlet, I would put her A tier, but her range is so bad that she has to go in B tier. She has a 13 frame startup, so super fast, 340 damage, so the highest damage possible for Fatal Blow. But that bad range is annoying sometimes because you have to either combo with her, and you can miss sometimes. Or if you wake up, I mean, the opponent can just be one step away and you'll miss. So while it does have good damage, good startup, its range just keeps her down at B. So let's talk about Aaron Black, definitely S. So Aaron, he shoots a bunch of bullets at you that are great poke, and then it's full screen, so great range, and his damage is 340, so the highest damage possible, and his startup is 18, so pretty fast. I consider this, if not one of the best, if not the best Fatal Blow in the game, because of its range, its startup, and its damage. It's just one of the best, so he's definitely S. So Devorah, I'm gonna put in B. Here. Devorah, she just has an average one. 13 frame startup, which is really fast. Only 310 damage, which is why she's not in A tier. And her animation is just average. She has okay range, but that damage is what's keeping her from A tier. So Shiva, I'm gonna put in S tier, and it's kind of the same thing for Aaron Black. Shiva has great poke because she punches you so many times. You let go of that block and she'll get you still. She does 340 damage. It's only a 15 frame startup, so super fast. And like I said, her chip is really good, and basically everything is really good about her Fatal Blow. So Kotal Kahn, I'm gonna put in B. So Kotal Kahn, he has a 13 frame startup, but that first hit doesn't guarantee your Fatal Blow. So that's why he's not in a higher rank. He has 330 damage, which is okay. It's actually pretty good, it's pretty high. But his animation is not that good of a range. His first hit doesn't cause the Fatal Blow. And that's why I decided to put him at B tier. So the next one is Terminator. Terminator, I'm gonna put Terminator at A tier. So Terminator, 18 frame startup, 340 damage, so really high damage. And then his animation, he, I think, just hits you with his gun, but it's a good startup, it's easy to combo with, and then his damage is great since it's 340, so A tier. So Garris, I'm gonna put him in S tier. Garris has a 16 frame startup, 320 damage, so average, and his animation is what puts him in S tier. His animation, you can't really see what the range is, so he can catch you off guard with that. And the range is pretty good. He can combo into mostly everything since it just catches you. And his startup is pretty fast at 16, so that's what's putting him in S tier. So Collector, I'm going to put in B tier. So Collector, he has a 19 frame startup, 320 damage, and okay range. So again, he's just an average character. He has a average fatal blow, so that's why he's in B tier. So Sindel, I'm gonna put her also in B tier. Sindel, she has a 18 frame startup, 320 damage, and then just decent range. I think she screams at you, so I just think she's average as well. The same as Collector, she has an okay fatal blow. Centurion, I'm gonna put her in A tier just because she does have that full screen fatal blow, because she drops rocks on you. However, she's kept from S because it's not an overhead for some reason, it's just a mid. So if it was an overhead, I would definitely put it in S, but since it's a mid, I can't put it in S. And also its startup is only 29 frames, so really slow, and then only 320 damage, so she's in A tier. Then Fujin, I'm gonna put in A tier also. Fujin has a 14 frame startup, 330 damage, so pretty high, and he does have, his animation are 2 hits. The first hit, like Kotal Kahn, doesn't automatically cause the fatal blow, but the second hit does. However, the first hit does keep the opponent in the air usually, so that's why I'm putting him in A instead of B, because it's a really fast fatal blow, it does good damage, and you can combo into it pretty well. So the last person is Joker. I'm going to put Joker in S, and while he does have a 20 frame startup, he does 340 damage, so really high. His animation is winding up his Jack-in-the-Box, so you can delay it, which plays a lot of mind games. And then also, you can cancel it like Johnny, but if you get I think the forward grab, you get a crushing blow. So that's why he's in S tier. And hey, I'm back. I was just looking over it later on in the day, and I noticed that I should put Devorah in A tier because she is basically like Sonya. And so if I put Sonya in it, I should probably put Devorah. And then the next person I think I should change is Johnny. I think that just based on his mix-up with his cancel, his fatal blow cancel, I think he should be A, even though he is a little slow. Okay, now this is the final list. Let's go back to the video. I guess that ends off the tier list. I'm not gonna put Chronica, but hope you liked the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and if you stayed for the whole video, you guys the real ones. Big addition.